Let's talk to the plantations analyst at RBS Securities. We have Nirgunan Tiruchelvam joining us now on the program. And Nirgunan, let's talk about the El Nino effect, shall we? How is that going to impact commodities this year, and which regions will be, I guess, affected more than others?
The region which will be affected very severely, in my view, will be Southeast Asia, where a lot of commodities are produced, principally palm oil and rubber. As far as the equity markets are concerned, those are the two you need to focus on. El Nino is a climatic condition which is associated with dry weather. There are very strong indications that El Nino may have already commenced. The Southern Oscillation Index, which is the measure in Australia which provides an indication of El Nino, has been in negative territory for a number of weeks. So short of outright declaration of El Nino, this is a very strong statement. If there is El Nino, the production of crude palm oil will suffer, as well as the production of rubber. So this would be a very good time to pick up some of the palm oil and rubber producing names.
Okay, so what do you expect here with an El Nino effect, Nirgunan? I mean, how much do you think that's going to boost up rubber and palm oil prices first off, and then the producers themselves, the stock prices?
We think there will be an increase in crude palm oil prices of about 10% in terms of average prices. We are looking at average prices of about $750 a ton for most of 2010. In terms of average prices, that is over 10%. That's over 10% compared to the average prices in 2009.
And what about rubber prices? You just talked about palm oil, but how will rubber prices be impacted? They're already trading at pretty lofty levels.
Rubber prices will continue to grow because rubber is a commodity that is very difficult to increase your production in. The rubber prices are going to be very high for a number of months. If you look at rubber, you can see that there's a 7-year gestation period. It takes 7 years to grow a rubber tree into maturity. So those who want to enter the market will have to wait for another 7 years. So production levels are not going to adjust very quickly.
Okay. So what are the best bets on this, Nirgunan, then on the rubber players and on the palm oil players? But let's first start off with the palm oil names. Which ones do you think will be benefiting the most from El Nino when it does happen? And how much do you think they'll gain?
I wouldn't want to distinguish. I don't want to distinguish between palm oil producers and rubber players because they often overlap in this region. But as far as the general trend is concerned, my two top picks are Golden Agri and Indo-Food Agri. These are Singapore-listed plantation stocks with operations mostly in Indonesia. They have excellent exposure to rising palm oil prices as well as rising palm oil production because they are bucking the trend by increasing their own hectareage at a time where production in general is suffering. They also have exposure to rubber, though not as significant as the palm oil exposure.
Okay, let's get some target prices on these then. We have Golden Agri, trading at maybe 58 cents at this point. What's the outlook here?
We have a buy recommendation with a target price of 60 cents. The upside may actually be higher than the 2 cents that my target price suggests because palm oil prices still have a way to go in terms of reaching our average price target for the year.
Yeah, it's pretty volatile, isn't it? Because it jumped from 50 cents to 65, then back to 55 cents. I mean, how do you pick up on the volatility of this stock?
Well, one way of understanding it is that this is a deeply undervalued stock in relation to the others in the sector, possibly as a consequence of the fact that it's listed here in Singapore, where shorting is more readily available. It's taken the brunt of some of the short selling that took place on the sector perhaps over 6 months ago. So it's always traded at a discount, and I think the discount may be unwarranted. So there may be further upside to this name.
Okay, well, Nirgunan, let's talk about your other fave in this sector, which is Indo-Food. 9 buys, 6 holds, 3 sells, pretty much across the board. I think analysts are a little divided here. But what is fair value for this stock?
Well, we see the stock going up by more than 10%. The upside could exceed our target in this matter, in this case as well. It's a very productive company. Its yields are better than some of the others in the industry, and they are going to improve their productivity because they've been investing in logistics and seed technology.
Okay, so give me a target price. We're at 217 and change. What's the outlook here going forward?
We would see a target of over 240 or 250.
Okay, and the stock has already gained 208% just in the past 12 months, so some huge gains so far, Nirgunan. Okay.